How is it that this one spot on the table will accelerate your learning in cue ball control?
I saw Snooker on the TV and that was the end of it.
Hello and welcome back to the Snooker Shed. What have we got for you today? Well, what we're going to look at is what we can do like the pros do, but we don't have to be a professional to do it. It's really simple. It's just simple planning. It's the free stuff. It's filling your head with all the information required for each and every single shot we play. In a frame of snooker, do we really want to give our opponent any advantages? Of course not. And if we're thinking the shot through completely and he isn't, then you've got that advantage. So let's look at an example of what I'm going on about here. I'm going to put the black and I want to put this red back in the pocket to get the black. So for position, normally you would see players just going, I want the cue ball up here somewhere. That to me is not good enough. And that's where we let ourselves down, because our brain has to fill in the blanks to where the cue ball goes. So when you get down on the shot, you haven't thought it through. You haven't thoroughly thought where that cue ball is going to land on the table. The perfect position for it. So let's get down and play the shot. Now, given that I've told my brain I just want it up there somewhere, and there's exactly what my brain's figured out. It said, yeah, you're up there somewhere, but I'm completely out of position. So let's look at this shot again and see how we can improve it by filling in the blanks so that my brain knows exactly what I want it to do. So the first thing I'm looking at, potting the black. I want to put this red back into this pocket so I could return and pot the black. The first thing I'm going to do is look at where I want the cue ball to go. No guessing. I want to tell my brain, this is where I want it. To do that, I have to go for a walk. How many times do we just play the shot from there? So I'm saying, I want the black, pot the black, and I want the cue ball to land here. That's the spot on the table, right there. There is no area, it is right there. That's where I want it to go. Once I've got that position in my head, I can play the shot. Now that I've played the shot, let's have a look and see where I've landed. Pretty much where I want it to be. I was wanting a wee bit closer, but I'm in that line where I was expecting. And the difference between the two shots was just telling my brain, that's where I want the cue ball. So let's look at right on that spot and why I believe in my game I've improved by telling my brain I want it there. Now a lot of people, you'll go choose an area on the table, and that's fine. I'm not going to disagree with that. But how big is that area? So is the area this size? Or is the area even larger than that? Is it this size? Why do we need to limit ourselves to an area? Why not limit ourselves to an exact spot right there? So if I say my margin of error is one cue ball either side of the point in the table I want to go, and when I'm playing the shot, I'm allowing myself that amount of error. And that is 3 cue balls. The difference between playing it for this side to that side is massive. In fact, if I hit this shot and it's short, I'm not getting the position back on the black. So me, I'll play the shot where I want it exactly to go. So my margin of error that my brain's getting told is very, very small, which means I'll play the shot with a lot more care and more precision. Now, if you carry on playing with that in mind, what you'll start to do is learn quicker how hard and where to hit the cue ball to get it exactly on that spot. Because if we keep playing areas, then your margin of error for striking the cue ball up and down and striking its pace is as big as the space you're trying to get that cue ball in. And in snooker, it's not good enough. It's got to be accurate. Here's a non-snooker, a real life example of that. So let's just say you send me to the shop and you say, I need some food. I'm going to be wandering around that Pacific shop going, does it like cheese? Does it like bread? Is it brown bread? Breads with seeds in it? Oh, you might want butter. Does it like salted butter? Or is it margarine? What milk? Well, I'll get him milk. I'll need to get him milk. He likes milk. Surely he likes milk. Juice, I'll get him some juice. I'm going to be walking around that shop with a cloud of confusion because I don't know what I'm going for. You've just sent me to the shop. If you then send me to the shop and say, I want you to get me bread, white. I want you to get me margarine, salted. I want you to get me semi-skim milk. I know exactly what I'm going to go. I'll go straight to the shop, buy it, and we're done. So it's no different here. Men, what we need to do is treat that cue ball just like a child. Tell it to do exactly what you want it to do. Ladies, treat it like a husband. Don't leave us to make any decisions on our own. Tell us exactly where you want it to go. So how would you like to join us here at the Snooker Shed and also win yourself a free t-shirt? What we're looking for is people to come along and do the intro, outro. I'll see you on the table. I'm going to say a big thanks to Nick Barrow.
And I'll see you on the table.
And Bex Kenna.
And I'll see you on the table.
And Gary Fuller.
And I'll see you on the table.
For taking part in this so far. If you're interested, leave a wee comment down below. Right, another quick wee example of this filling your head with all the information. I had my mate Judd round the other day and he was saying to me that he was struggling to find position from the pink on a stun shot. And if we have a look at the setup that I've got here, what he's looking to do is stun the pink into the bottom bag and land back on the red. And what his problem was he kept on under or over hitting. And again, George was picking the position from here. He wasn't filling all the information in his head to help his brain play the shot correctly. It was really simple what I done. All I done was ask George to cannon into a red. George looked at the shot and went, yeah, it's pretty easy. And Julie cannoned into the red to find that he was actually on the position where he wanted. So all I done for George was simply put something on the table that he can look at. I filled in that wee blank to tell him where exactly he wanted the cue ball to go. Once I'd done that, he quickly figured out that's how to hit it. Speed and height on the cue ball was figured out. Pre-shot routine, got down, played the shot and got the cannon, landed in that perfect position. When I took the ball away and asked him to play the same shot, he overhit it. What I then said was go round and pick out the spot. So we played loads of different wee shots exactly like that on the pink, stunning it in different places, putting the cue ball on the table for him to cannon into, taking it away. And all he done was fill his head full of all the information required to play the shot correctly. And it's free. Ladies and gents, it's free. It cost us nothing. We don't have to be super skilled to walk around a table and say, I want the cue ball to go there. The professionals do it. How often do you see one of the pros gone round and queuing up a shot where they want the cue ball to go? And that's why we should be looking at where we're putting the cue ball, filling all the blanks and letting our brains then make the correct decisions. So let's look at a wee practice routine. I've laid out 2 balls on the table and for the black. And you're right, you're going to think, God, he's potting this black again. I always play round about the black spot. It's not an obsession, it's just the fact that the black has only got 2 pockets that it could be potted in. So you need to get really good to pot it in just the 2. The pink has 4, the blue has 6 and so on. So what you have to do is you have to pick a spot on the table and you're not allowed to play the shot until you physically touch the table where you want it to go. So let's have a wee wander around the table and pick the spot where I want the cue ball to land. Now what I'll do is I'll put a wee chalk mark on the spot. Let's go back and play the shot, and this is where the super learning begins. And it's pretty accurate. I'd be super happy with that if I was under pressure in a frame of snooker. So let's say it landed there. or it landed there, high or low on that spot. This is where I've learned over the years of playing snooker that if I choose the spot, then I've got a place on the table to expect the cue ball to go. If it goes past it, I hit it too hard, I learn. If it doesn't make the spot, I hit it too soft, I learn again. And these simple wee techniques are always filling your brain with loads of information that you could then correct the next time you get a very similar shot. You'll say to yourself, I always hit them a wee bit too soft. So you learn and you correct. I always hit them a wee bit too hard. You learn and you correct. And that's only because we've got a specific point that you wanted it to go to. If you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button and ring that wee bell so that you get the notification for the next one coming out. And listen, I'll see you on the table.